Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Lextro, and I've been playing a lot of Dota Underlords over the past week, and I wanted to make this video as a sort of first impressions on the game and its design. For those who don't know, Dota Underlords is the latest game by the Valve Corporation, trying to make a faithful recreation of Dota 2's auto chess mod as its own separate experience. The game concept of Dota Underlords and other auto battlers is simple. You draft a team of heroes from a public pool, and you place them on an 8x8 chessboard, and they engage in automatic battle with another player's team. The gameplay of the genre can become very complex and engaging from these simple ideas, and this has really proven to be a good formula for Valve and other developers like Riot Games to base their new games off of. Dota Underlords does try its best to emulate the mod as closely as possible, while adding different content and revamping some of the more variable systems that the game has, which we'll get into a bit later. So on the home screen, one of the first things you'll notice is that the layout is pretty basic, only having the main game in a multiplayer mode, with bots, or a tutorial game to introduce you to the game's systems. This is understandable, given how quickly the game was put together, but it would have been nice to see at least one new game mode or custom rule sets being added to add some more to the core experience. Queuing for a game is much faster and more convenient than it was in the Auto Chess mod, which I think is one of its biggest improvements. In the mod, you either had to risk the play button on the home screen bugging out and putting you into the wrong kind of lobby, or going into a matchmaking site like Liquid's QAHL to find or host a lobby of people who were at your skill level. This was a more effective method of finding more evenly matched opponents, but having to wait for more people to join your lobby was often a tedious process. Having crossplay between the mobile and PC players in Dota Underlords also makes finding games a much smoother experience. The gameplay of Underlords is generally the same as the Auto Chess mod, with some notable changes to synergies, the addition of a few new heroes, and changes to how the item system works. I agreed with the sentiment that some of the items in the mod, especially items that were formed from combining other items, like Mask of Madness and Assault Cuirass, Refresher, Blade Mail, etc., were really overtuned and created too unfair of an advantage for the players who lucked into these items. The new item system, where you're given a selection of items or permanent buffs after every creep round, is a much better way to decrease the randomness of the item system while adding depth to the gameplay instead of removing it. Overall, I think the game is really good for what it is, especially considering that it was a game made in about 4 months by Valve. But if you've seen the other hour-long critique of Valve's design decisions when it came to their last AIM artifact, you know that I'm certainly willing to be a critic of their decisions when it comes to their own game's design. Dota Underlords is pretty close in design to the Auto Chess mod that inspired it, but I feel like it suffers from some of the same lazy design choices that Valve games have had since the release of CSGO in 2013. There's a distinct lack of personality and features in Dota Underlords, something that the mod really had in droves. Heroes had voice lines when you buy them and when you went around. The skin of every hero changed when it was upgraded, and the actual boards you played on was an open island arena that was really cool to look around. A lot of the boards had their own custom designs based upon the different biomes in Dota 2. Also having a customizable courier that you can move around the board was a really neat idea, but it wasn't implemented in Underlords, likely because of its introduction on mobile and the new control scheme that the Underlords laid out. The game still feels like a more polished but unfinished version of the Auto Chess mod, which is something I hope Valve will fix in future updates when they add more content and more heroes. For now, the game stands as a project with a lot of potential and something worth trying out, but I wouldn't commit to playing it long term until more features are added that make people stay. I will say that the competition going on in the auto battler scene will likely bring out the best out of the developers that are creating these games, and that we will all benefit because of it. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more mini reviews and more design talks in the future.